as you heard from the title, we are drawing eyes today, and of course it's got to be my way. We are starting off with one large circle and then two smaller ovals kind of veering off to the side. This is going to be our iris and pupil. Now, I didn't want to put it right in the middle because I honestly don't like drawing circles too much, so an oval is a little bit easier and a little bit less pressure. The main focus is obviously that big eye in the center and then giving it enough detail to be quite exciting and not just a plain Jane eyeball, because honestly that's all the tutorials are on here, is just eyes, human eyes. Let's get weird and spunky with it. So that's why I drew this big ol' alien style eyeball. The basic drawing of an eyeball is super easy and simple. Honestly, anybody can do it. And you'll see later on in the video, once I start the coloring process, how detailed I do make it. In all honesty, I had a bit of trouble with the iris part of it. I really liked the base color that I chose, but I had a hard time color matching because it's not quite blue, but it's not quite gray either. So you'll see that coming up a little bit later on, but right now we're just starting with the initial sketch anyways and getting any little details and shapes in. I didn't go too crazy with the details just because I figured my colors would do most of the work for me, and a lot of these lines don't even actually make it into the final drawing. But I think with what I did do, it was really nice. A little bit goes a long ways, and I think that's what really put this piece together this time. I really wanted the eyes to be held together by all these other organic parts and intestine, tentacle looking things. I felt if I was to kind of have them hanging off in any sort of way, it would look quite unproportional and non-supportive, if that's the way to explain it. I just don't understand how a little thin piece of fiber could hold up an entire eyeball, but that might just be my thinking, and weirdly enough. But right now we are getting into the color. I am going in with my Artist Loft and Prismacolor markers first. I've really been enjoying using these. I was mainly using this pink squishy blob intestine stuff just to actually hold them together and form the body of the alien. And then just placing some smaller eyes sort of surrounding it and coming off the tentacles or at the base of the tentacles. I didn't want to add too many big eyeballs. I thought 3 was perfect. So yeah, I just added those couple little ones off to the side. That way it creates flow throughout the piece, not that it's just one big huge eyeball. I think 3 was the perfect amount. So you can see now that I'm getting in that secondary layer of the base color, and it's a little bit more of an orangey tone than what I liked. I'm not sure, maybe I'm just not using it correctly, but I'm just using it to get those final color blocking details in, just the ones that are smaller, and then later on I'll go through with my Prismacolor and get that all done. But here it comes to the iris. And what a lovely color this one was. I think it was kind of a denim sort of color, and I really enjoyed how that one turned out. It looked great against the pink as well as that super rich blue that I did for the tentacle bone structure things. I don't even know what to call them. Ugh, the struggle is real. I knew a majority of this piece was going to end up pink, so I really wanted to add some sort of green. I didn't want to go too bright green, so I just did this sort of mint color, and I think that complements that pink perfectly, along with that rich royal blue color at the end of the bone structure things, as well as the iris. It really turned out to be a perfect color palette, so I'll definitely be doing more with that. The only problem is that they don't blend together all that nicely. It definitely took quite a bit of layering, so I'll keep that in mind for next time. But the one thing I really enjoy about these markers is that it has taken away a lot of the effort you have to put in, and I'm not wasting so much of one crayon color because some I have are very, I guess, limited. But it definitely takes out a lot of the work and makes it a bit easier. But like I mentioned before, it's just a little noticeable with those harsh edges that are the newer marker over top of the original first coat of the base. So yeah, but the pencil crayons just change everything completely. And especially with those white highlights, I'm so pumped about how this piece looks. And a little really did go a long ways here. I enjoyed a lot of this piece, to be honest. It was fun to draw and a little bit challenging because I haven't actually drawn one of these in pencil crayon or markers, and I'm still trying to get used to using these markers. So overall, it was a lot of fun, and I really hope you guys also try to use the markers as well. I think it's important to make yourself more familiar with more than one medium, maybe like 2 or 3, just because it gives you more options, and I think you could go many different ways with different supplies. Like, I am far too scared to try oil pastels or anything, but I'm sure my art would look completely different than the art I make now, and just expand my horizons a little bit. So that's essentially why I'm trying the markers, and I'm really trying to get into paint, but I haven't been as successful with that as I would like to be. It's really messy and takes a lot of setup and a lot of work, whereas this stuff's all at my desk and neatly packed away, so it makes it a little bit harder with the paints. And much like tattooing, I think it's always a good idea to be well versed in maybe 2 or 3 different styles, just because it really opens up your books to many other people, because, you know, some may not like the more cartoony stuff, but maybe they like black and gray or watercolor. As for me, I do a lot of this cartoony new school stuff, at least I think I do, but I also have a very large clientele for watercolor and honestly just flat 2D cartoon photos as well. It really just gives you more opportunity to get more clients in your chair. And now it's just getting into all the line work, which, like I said, once again, a little bit goes a long ways. I didn't get too extra or bold with the line work in this one, and I really believe that it just made this piece perfect. It was very fine line, easy, simple line work, and yeah, I think it just suited everything perfectly. I believe if I would have done really bold black lines, it would have made it look maybe a little too cartoony, which I don't think that was the idea. I wanted to give it a bit more of a softer look, and I think I definitely achieved that. And any lines that I did put in this really helped separate certain parts of the piece from others, so it did its job, really. If you've gotten this far in the video, I would really like you to comment down below what you think these creature, grotesque alien things should be called, because I have no clue, and I really don't know what style this could even be. So if you have any idea, let me know down below, because I have no idea. But here we are with the final sexy shots. I hope you all enjoyed, and the one rule of thumb is just 3 circles. That's how you draw an eyeball, and then add a bunch of gross shit around it. So enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye!